Brothers, we are back. It's Tuesday night.
Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Welcome, Maestro.
Hello
how have you
there,
been?
I'm just fine. How have your week been?
Ups and downs, ups and downs. But now I'm up. It's Tuesday and I'm up.
Yeah, okay. So we start diving in right to the trombone tip, which everyone thinks always is too short. I'm going to make it as long as I can. Here we go. I'm going to change the background. We have now this green screen, but it still doesn't work with the trombone. So we'll see here, none. There we are. Now we should have proper green screen. Yes, okay. So the king of music is rhythm, and the queen of music is intonation. And how on a trombone do you get a good intonation? Well, I thought that I have a very, very good ear, so I thought I could play by ear. And I noticed very quickly in the opera orchestra when I was 19 that that doesn't work. You just have to nail your positions into the hand. And the only way to do it, for me, I found out the hard way, was to really, really slowly practice scales. And I'll show you how slow. This slow. What you do is you move your slide very fast to the right position. You sing the note in your ear, and then you're not allowed to move, because that's when you register, compare your ear with what you hear. And if you, for instance, do this, you stay there. My God, that was sharp. So next time, you gotta place it right. It's like throwing a dart. Once you've thrown it, it's gone. So you really have to do that. And every day, I used to do this every day. The first thing I did after the warm-up. And I went through all the scales in this tempo. That was a little too sharp.
Yes. What happened?
And so on. So you get all it, and bit by bit, slowly, you get these positions into the hand. They nailed into the hand. But the strange thing is that when you actually use another instrument, of course, you have to do it again on that instrument. That's why I always stayed with my Con 88. Where the positions are always there at the same time. So, and you can do this also some different ways. You can. I used to have a very good friend in the opera orchestra, Christer Palm. He played the tuba, and we had the same problem. Of course, we were thinking about how do we get perfect intonation, because intonation is so important. And we used to play those with him a fifth lower, so we play fifth together or fourth together, so that we hear if the fifth is out of tune. You can hear it even better then. And you can also do it. You can also do it with a computer. If you program your computer with the actual trombone sound, then you can play it together with that, and it will help you. Now also, what I did was triads. So. And there you see, there's so small changes here. So you have to know exactly where that F is and where the D is and so on. So
a lot of work.
That's
Meister.
my trombone tip of this week.
Have you been practicing this a lot?
Yeah, I did it.
Yes
yeah, I
or
mean,
no?
I still do it. I still do it.
You still do it? Oh.
And if I change my instrument, I have to go back and do it again, because you have to nail them in. Because when you play a fast passage like you have to know every single position there, because you have a friend playing exactly the same thing. And if you just miss it a little bit, it's going to sound awful. So it's a tough thing to do, but and very few. That's probably usually that's the difference between the ones who get the positions in the orchestra and those who don't.
Gets the job, right?
Yeah, it's like the last centimeter of work. And now I'm gonna put my screen on again with the famous famous legend Roland Pöntinen. And what is going to happen now? Well, we have the final show of the Roland Pöntinen Festival.
Oh, yes.
And without Roland even knowing, we have brought some of his best friends here. I think they are here. Bring them in, Per, quickly. Where are they? Hello, where are you?
Hello, boys.
I see Mika, and I
Hello.
see you have to
Hey.
you are upside down. There you go. Okay,
Much
you have to
better.
find some way, Christian.
Much
Nils.
better.
Great to
So.
see you.
Welcome, boys.
Hi, all of you.
Hey.
Hey.
Mika, you are now an international conductor, an artist director of an orchestra in Chile. But
Yes.
what we really would like to know is a fun memory of Roland as a teenager. Could you please share us some details?
Well, okay. You know, I met him first time when he was 14, so a teenager. And I can easily recall the very first time I met Roland and saw him in person. It was at the Adolf Fredrik Musikklasser, the music school in Stockholm. And I was a clarinet player at the time, so I came with my clarinet to play a little opera there. So I entered the big hall in this school, and I heard right away that someone is playing Chopin's second piano concerto on an extremely high level. So I thought, who can play Chopin like this? I mean, it sounded like some of my recordings, and he played just his parts. And I looked up, and there was this very slim, as he is still, blonde little boy practicing Chopin as if he was alone in the room. And I thought, wow, two things. What a stunning quality from a little boy. Secondly, his focus ability was already there, because we were chattering like 100 people entering the place, and Roland was just playing beautifully. This might be quite unusual for a 14-year young guy, just, sitting down at the piano. And I never forget this moment. And I asked someone close to me there, who is this boy? And it became one of my closest friends, and that was Roland. This is my very first memory of Roland.
Beautiful. And what about Christian? Christian, you
Yeah.
I mean, you have even recorded. You have recorded with him with violin and piano on bass, and done lots of things. I know him very well, and of course, we know a lot. But I'm sure you have a memory that is unofficial and a little secret. Bring it out for us, please.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we played together a lot of times in the 80s, and but I will share a memory from a little different situation with Roland. It was when Sviatoslav Richter came to Stockholm and play in the Royal Castle. The Schumann evening, and then suddenly he needed a page turner. So Roland's management, Lodding, I think it was, they needed a page turner, and he wanted preferably a boy who was the page turner. So he thought, okay, Roland will be the perfect page turner. So Roland, he called him, and then Roland sort of was the same day. So he was sort of in, oh my God, he had no clothes that was good enough. So he went to a shop called the Dueline, very good shop in Stockholm, very expensive shop, Roland's favorite. He had to buy a costume, what do you call it? Suit. And they cost like 10,000 crowns. But you know, Roland, he's such a connoisseur in every aspect of life. And so, okay, he bought that, and then he went to the Royal Castle, and he met Richter, and he sat backstage, and he told me, because I was in the concert, so I listened to this concert.
I was there too.
You were there too?
Yeah.
You too? Okay, all of you.
Me too.
Yeah.
No,
And then one funny thing was backstage. Roland told us, I think you remember as well, suddenly, like half an hour before the concert, Richter asked the director of the evening, "Where's my cognac?" And he said, "Your cognac?" "Yeah, where's my cognac?" And then he sort of panicked, and he thought, "Oh, I have a bottle of cognac in my office around the corner." So he ran there, he got a cognac, went back, and Richter had a glass of cognac, and then he went in and played, and Roland was sitting there perfectly, turning every page perfectly, and that was a really fantastic concert. And so that's a different role, but otherwise I only seen Roland on stage or played with Roland, but in that role it was another situation.
I remember one memory actually when because he earned a lot of money when he was young, and he didn't care about the money. So once he was putting on his suit for a concert that we did, and he looked in his pocket, and said, "Wow, here's a check of $3,000," and that was a lot of money in the 80s, you know. $3,000. Oh, I didn't take it out, so it's too late. But he didn't care at all. Anyway, he's about to bring. We're about to bring him on, but I think we are also going to play some beautiful music here, aren't we? The fantastic new version of Clair de Lune that we have proudly released right now. I think it's
which is coming in just like 15 minutes or something on Spotify, on every digital platform.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So are we up for it, boys?
Yeah. Go.
Yeah. Yes.
Welcome, Roland. So good to see you here. Do you see your friends? Mika?
Yeah.
Good to speak, Mika and Christian.
Hey, Roland.
Wow.
Hey, Roland.
Hey.
Yeah.
We have just made some good stories about your past. We've talked about you a lot here. But before the three of you take over the show here, I think that Per has a little question, don't you?
Roland, welcome back to the show. It's been
Thank you.
weeks.
Thank you,
I
Per.
missed you. I missed you. But
I
tell us.
missed the program. I waited for 7 days. Nothing happened.
Wait.
Oh,
But Roland, I mean, this is such a famous, fantastic piece.
yeah.
You
please.
recorded it with Biss, and it streamed like billions of billions. Why did you re-record this music?
It's really some music to really dwell into and become almost in love with. It's really one of those fantastic piano pieces that will never. I would never get bored of it. I think it's so beautiful every time you hear it, or if you play it too, and it's such a lovely music, very exquisite in taste and harmony, everything. Maybe it's not the most modern Debussy. He still is somehow still in a romantic feeling, but it's no wonder it's one of his most famous pieces. It's really so beautiful piece.
I think Mika has something to ask you here.
Oh, Mika.
Yeah, Roland, I must ask you something. These new recordings you have done for European Gramophone up there at Valudden, since I'm now out in the archipelago, and that is really the wild archipelago environment. Tell us what's your feeling about going into a studio in this environment instead of going to the normal, maybe Stockholm or any city studio, which usually are a little bit dull and boring environments. Did it give something special to you there?
Well, you're confronted with nature very close by, and
yeah.
It's very calm feeling. There's a stillness to the whole procedure. Going into the studio, and then you maybe take some air, and you just go out in this beautiful Swedish nature. You see the sea, the water, the trees. I think you have so many things to be inspired of in this environment. I think it's fantastic.
Great, of course.
Christian, you want to add something?
Well, I know that Roland is a big fan of old LP recordings and old recordings in particular, I mean, in general. So Roland, do you have any special old school recording that you prefer on this one, that you were maybe inspired from or so?
I guess this particular piece is probably recorded by many people. I cannot think of really special one. When I'm thinking of Debussy, I'm thinking many times about Michelangelo playing, but he never recorded this piece. Let me think. I heard so many. It's actually difficult to distinguish or to remember exactly what piece, but what pianist. I think for this piece I don't have a special favorite. Actually, it's it's a piece you always played. I played it since I was a child, and you play it preferably in the night time, maybe at the party. It's very fantastic atmospheric piece about moonlight. So the best way to hear it is actually to play it live in a very nice setting, or after a nice dinner or something like that.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Because you said maybe in the party, and I heard Roland sit down after dinners many times and is starting to play something, and I know that you play this piece many times, and Roland is like living jukebox. You know, you can just he's just continue. He's like he could go on for hours if you want to, and actually you never tie. I mean, you want him to continue, but it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, and Roland is one of these people who I don't know, but your repertoire is so big, and tell him any Chopin piece or Debussy piece and he can play it directly. I mean, it's like amazing. I don't understand, but
fantastic. We have actually, Roland, we have some more people for you coming in.
Oh,
here.
that's fantastic.
Because we have we're doing a streaming competition, and we have the live with us, the people who are actually going to compete and stream your pieces.
Wow.
So wow, we have, you see, there's a lot of them there. We have now 1, 2, 3, 4.
We have Leif.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Congratulations for winning the Mozart competition.
Thank you very much.
Have you been celebrating with champagne?
Yeah, we had a kind of digital celebrating all the competitors, and we tried to overdo each other with wine and booze and cognac and so on, champagne.
And now everybody of the European Gramophone fan page are wondering, which piece are you now planning to win this time with? Fidelis, Janacek, Chopin, Debussy? Tell us.
I think
He shouldn't reveal it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, come on.
Secret. Yeah.
This time I always start my list with my heart, with the music I like most, and then there I'm really like a devil and want to win everything. So I think I will start with Janacek and Hindemith. That's very good composers, and they have compositions that I like very much indeed. Perhaps something of Beethoven Fidelis is a good piece, and ordinary people likes it very much because most people have some time try to play it in a way. And when
So
do we have Lance? Lance isn't here.
Lance, we lost Lance. And John, I don't know if John is trying to connect from Colombia. But Marcus, can I ask you now? You're from Liverpool.
Yes.
I wonder, did you actually hear Roland play the Rachmaninoff Paganini variations when he was there and I conducted?
I did, and
Yeah.
I still have the program.
Wow!
And also, there's Roland, and from your gig that you did at St. George's Hall.
Ah, great, wonderful.
Yeah, I came to both of those, and I remember particularly the St. George's Hall gig with the two of you. Two big musical personalities on stage. Sometimes you were riffing like a couple of jazz players doing Los Bandidos, or from some of the more tender passages in the Firebird arrangement. It was like having a very lovely, sweet conversation. But the big thing was the joy that you took in the music, and it spilled over to the audience. We all felt it, and it was a very memorable night, and just wonderful, just really, really good.
Yeah.
I love Christian's residency, but you coming over and playing together was very special.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, we seem to miss John here from Colombia. It's maybe bad connection or something.
Yeah.
David, let me ask you. You have been, you have been. Hello, John is here. Great, but I'll ask you, David. You have been at the top of these competitions, and you have been at the bottom and in the middle, and you are sort of, sometimes you're almost like you're winning. But
almost.
What is your strategy for the next one?
So my strategy clearly doesn't work. so my strategy for the first one was to see which tunes were popular and select those. My strategy for the second one was to pick tunes that I thought were good and stream like crazy. As you say, neither of those strategies worked. So I mean, I think if you pick pieces you like, that's got to be a good place to start, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So that's
any specific favorites?
I must admit, the bit you played from Claire de Lune just now was absolutely lovely. I was going to say the Satie Gymnopédies. I like those a lot, and I think they're very accessible pieces of music. So those are probably my favorites going into it at the moment.
Wonderful.
No guarantee though, is it? You never know.
No.
So John, we have another guy. John, are you there? Can you hear us? John, can you hear us? Hello?
John.
Well, okay. Well, stay there. We have someone else to bring in, you know, Roland. There's a lot of people coming on here. Now we are hoping for.
You know, Christian, it feels like Lasse Holmqvist här i ditt.
Exactly. So you see there? Anders, talk.
Hallå! Hör ni mig?
Ja.
Hej.
Hej!
Ja.
Är Roland där också?
Yeah, Roland is here. He sees you and hears you. When you talk, you come into picture.
Okay, I see. Okay. So how are you? How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah. It's been a great competition, Roland.
So far.
Well, I sort of did the pre-work, but I now it's just fate or destiny that can decide how the competition will go.
And here we
Are you
have.
at home?
Yes, I'm at home, but you're in the car.
I'm in the car. I just came out from a rehearsal or recording, I would say. We are recording.
Great.
Great to be here.
Thank you,
Wonderful.
Anders.
Wonderful to
Lance,
see you.
we have Lance. We have to have a quick question for you, Lance.
Hi.
Hi. When you heard the Lindberg recording with Pöntinen, what's your first impression of it?
Well, my first experience particularly was from the CD virtuosic trombone, and particularly the chardas. And because of their recording, I was so obsessed with this piece chardas. I searched all over the internet, all over the YouTube. I listened to all sorts of different instruments playing chardas, and I still come back to their version. So of course their impression to us, especially the trombone world, is very big, and I really thank for their contribution. Oops.
Oh, that's great. You became two. But
That was
yeah.
my iPad.
And now, Roland,
Yes.
my dear friend, do you remember Marrakesh?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, well, a dear friend, someone really famous and beautiful and fantastic, want to greet you on this great release and competition. Ladies and gentlemen, Barbara Hendricks.
Wow. Wow.
Hello, Roland. Hello,
Hi,
Chris.
Barbara.
Anders.
Hello.
Hello. It's so great. It's so good to be here because you know, Roland, I am really your biggest fan. I am your biggest fan because also, you know, it's great with Claire de Lune because it's a pink full moon tonight.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's a full moon, a pink one. And so that was really great. But you are, you know, you're a genius. You are a painter. You do colors, not just sound, but you do warmth, temperature when you play. And I still think that you are too much of a well-kept secret for those of us who love you and appreciate what you are. So when Christian asked me to be here tonight, and I thought there's only person I would accept this for because I am so sick and tired of Zooms. You know, we've been doing so many Zooms, I hate them. And I thought, but not for Roland, I will put on a little lipstick and be here tonight to say how that I really am your greatest fan because you do everything you do with so much love, so much enthusiasm. I remember the first time you came to my house to rehearse, I had to bring you out of the room where you were practicing so you would eat something. And I remember saying to my husband, I said, but you know, is that all he's going to do? And he doesn't he want to go for a swim or go for a walk? We were in Switzerland. No, he wanted to play because he loved it, and he still loves it. He inspires me, and it's been so sad with COVID that I haven't been able to hear a live concert with Roland, but they all stay in my heart, and I understand why he has so many fans. But I am your #1 fan.
Wonderful.
Oh, actually, someone come in
Thank
into
you,
the
Barbara.
studio calling himself Roland Pöntinen. We have
Who is this?
hacker.
It's a fraud. It's a fraud.
It's a hacker.
No, I'm Ronald Pöntinen. That's quite a different. I'm being offended comparing my name with Roland's. But I do have a question, Roland. There was someone talking about you earlier that said that you bought a 10,000 kroner suit. Why aren't you wearing that now?
Oh, I should have had. I mean, had I known all these guests coming.
And also, I think that impressionism, it really goes with your personality. It's a bit blurry, isn't it?
Mr. Pöntinen, you have been trying to access our firewall all
Okay,
night.
can I just say, one serious question. The guy from Liverpool. You know that Gary Marston died recently, the lead singer of Gary and the Pacemakers.
Yeah.
Who would you say have sold the most records, Roland Pöntinen or the Beatles?
You're out of here, Mr. Pöntinen. Goodbye. Oh, terrible guy.
Oh, fantastic. We are now, bring him in again. He can come in. Don't be too
Are you sure?
to him. He's fine.
Yeah,
He's
I
not
like-
here. Don't be rude to. He tried his best. He's been trying to get in all evening, you know.
You have to stay calm, Mr.
I also
Pöntinen.
bought flowers, but that was from last week, so they faded a bit. But then for you, Roland.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm honored, really. Thank you.
Thank you all so very much. And tonight the album will drop on Spotify, Apple, iTunes, you know, every digital
Amazon,
platform.
Tidal,
Pandora,
Radio, everything, everywhere.
Classical. And don't forget to stream the fantastic piano playing of Roland. And
we are also on Saturday. We are releasing the best of Roland Pöntinen, and it's 49 tracks. Those 49 tracks is going to be the ground for the competition. The competitors here, the 5 of them, you are here already. You are going to choose your 10 favorite tracks, and then by the end of the month, the playlist that has the most streams will win. Yeah.
Will the Lament, the Debussy Lament, will that be one of the tracks? Lament. No, not Lament. I meant La Mer.
La Mer? I'm afraid not.
You should work on that. You should work on that. It's
I will talk with this guy.
We're already 5 minutes over time.
Oh no!
Don't miss us next Tuesday. Like our Facebook
Tuesday
page.
we'll have
Instagram.
actually next Tuesday. Jack in the Box is going to be.
He's on vacation next Tuesday, actually.
Yeah, because he is actually Fredrik Högberg, and we are releasing Rudolph.
That's just a rumor. That's a rumor.
Is that really you, Mr. Pöntinen? Oh my God!
I'm from now on Ronald Pöntinen.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you so much.
all.
Bye.
Thank you so much for coming.
Bye.